Thank you for that reminder. All right. All right. We waited 2 minutes. All right. We're going to get started. And, well, first of all, good evening and thank you so much for joining us. In this frigid weather, at least we're all indoor, keeping warm. So I will first start with the good news from RI. As you know, we have to report our progress on rebuilding the district for 2 years, this year and next year, because of our provisional status. So for those of you who didn't get a chance to read my email yesterday, RI Director Chris was very pleased with our report for the second quarter. She especially commented to Bob, Joe, and myself on our excellent teamwork. So we're very happy that she recognizes our work. So to everyone here, please remember that Bob, Joe, and I are working together to support all of you. So feel free to reach out to us anytime. Since we're talking about RI, Rotary International, I believe all of you, your clubs, have received the RI January invoice. Can I kind of show a hand if you know that happened? Yep. Now, the invoice, it's now placed in my Rotary at the RI website, rotary.org. So there will be no excuses for anyone to say that they have not received the RI invoice. Since it's there, you can, president and treasurer can log on to the RI website. If you don't have one, you can download it from there. So any question about invoice? All right, cool. Since we all have it, we're going to pay that invoice pretty quickly, so I don't have to chase after people, right?
Correct.
Thank you. Who said that? I
Me.
like that. Donato, thank you. You're setting
You're
a great
welcome.
example. Yeah. So in case anybody is wondering, Joe, it's not with us this evening. I'm talking about DGN Joe. Well, he is in sunny Arizona enjoying 60-degree weather. So I will update you on the district conference. So for now, would you please take out your phone or a pen and mark your calendar for Saturday, April 5th. That's 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. with a brand new format. We are lining up motivational speakers, environmental experts to give us ideas on service projects on protecting our environment. Plenty of opportunities to socialize, exchange ideas, and network. And exhibitors we can partner with. Membership meetups, international cuisine. We will have both lunch and dinner. Rotarians in action photo contest, and so much more for you to enjoy with fellow Rotarians. We will not have long speeches, and you do not have to sing this time. No 50-50 raffle and other fundraisers. So we just want you to come and have fun. So stay tuned for all the exciting details and contact Joe if you would like to help. You can find his email in my email that I sent out yesterday to all of you. Remember, the conference is for you. It's our one big get-together of the year, and we would like to see all of you there. Any questions about the conference at this point?
Saturday the 5th, right, Gene?
April 5th.
Okay.
Saturday, April 5th. And of course, the information, it's on our website and more
Yes.
details will follow. Anything else? Okay. All right. Our exciting youth programs, short-term, long-term exchange, and RILA. Bob, would you please give us update?
Sure thing. Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you got the RILA email that went out a few days ago. Everything is moving forward there. All of the details regarding the program in terms of date, location, and all that stuff are included in the email. We're going to start the registration process here within the next few days. We're testing out the registration website right now. But we'll have the registration up for clubs, so you'll be able to register your prospective attendees and all probably early next week, maybe even before the weekend. There's a website up or webpage up on our website that you can reach under youth programs, or you can go there directly, njrotary.org/RILA. And all of the details will be there. We're going to be posting some new documents and all here within the next week or so, designed for the participants. But everything is set. The Rotaract Club of Leadership and Service is on board, and they're starting to work already on the curriculum and those type of things. So anybody have any RILA questions? And just, we're doing this in conjunction this year with District 7490 to our northeast, just so you know, and we're managing it, we're still running it, but they're going to be participating fully. And we expect this year, based on the turnout we had last year and they had, to hit about 120 attendees, possibly more. And if we're able to hit that, we will be able to give you a little bit of a rebate on the scholarship. So we're going to be working hard to hit that number, and I'm pretty confident we're going to get there.
Bob, I do have a question.
Sure.
You mentioned the registration on a website, so that's not the same as the past years where we filled out papers and mailed them in or faxed them in or emailed them in?
There's this is the same as last year. There's no paperwork at all involved. Everything is done on the website. For you as the club, the only thing you have to enter is the participant's name, their personal email address, please not their school, because most schools don't allow outside email to come in, and the high school that they belong to. And then we take it over from there. We send them all of the materials that they need, and they do their registration and everything online. So it populates our database and all. And the other important thing is it maintains all Rotary's youth protection protocol regarding availability of personal information. So it worked really well last year. It's the same program with some tweaks this year.
Thank
So
you.
you have very little to do once you've entered the name. We do keep you updated. You'll be getting regular emails from us, letting us know what's going on. And of course, the most important thing is you get your check to our treasurer. So.
And the
I have a
sign up
question,
is
please.
open on February 1st.
I'm sorry.
And the sign up is open on February 1st.
That's what I printed. We will probably get there a little bit earlier, but everything else is the same. So
Okay.
there was one
I have a
more question.
please. Yes.
Harry?
Will Rotarian observers be permitted this year? And if so, what will the youth protection guidelines be for observers?
For observers, the only thing you need to observe is to take just review the Rotary requirements. Observers are not allowed any contact with the students. There's, no opportunity for one-on-one, but if you want to come and observe the events and all that are going on, you're more than welcome. Anybody that is involved with the youth that have any kind of direct contact, all of the counselors, all of the leaders that are there running the event, all have to go through full Rotary Youth Protection with background checks.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, Japan Exchange. We are moving forward with the Japan Exchange. Jim Allison is currently collecting applications for the outbound students and also applications for leaders that might want to go to Japan with the group. If you're interested in being a leader, please reach out to Jim. And that would have to be pretty quick because we're going to be finalizing and doing our interviews of leaders here in the near future. But we do have applications now, but we'll always look at additional applications. So if you have an interest, please get a hold of Jim. Jim is backing away a little bit from his involvement in the program. And his main focus is going to be on this part of it, getting the outbound students and that part done. We had a meeting of the youth exchange team last Wednesday. And there were a few people here that were on that call, I believe. And we're going to be putting a group together to assist in the process. And most of the work that we will be doing in that group is going to be to work on the arrangements for the inbound students coming in. So if you have an interest in working on the Japan program, this is a great opportunity. Please just shoot me an email and I will reach out to you. I'm waiting for some information to come back from Jim, and then I've got an email that I owe the group that met on Wednesday. But the program is moving forward, and we expect to easily hit the 20 students going out. And I know that Japan is prepared to send 20 here, so we got to be ready to greet them and take care of them for their 3 weeks. So again, there's the information on the Japan program is also on the website under youth programs. If you have any questions, and again, just give me a call or give me an email. Long-term youth exchange is also moving forward. We had some very bad news. We got a couple days ago, we had selected a young woman to go outbound. She had been accepted by Essex. Everything was in place, and her father passed away unexpectedly. So she obviously is distraught and has decided to back out of the program. We are continuing to look for other outbound. We do have a couple of clubs that are willing to take inbound students, and we're working on that right now. The Essex winter meeting is this weekend, and I'll be going out to represent the district and get some updates in terms of what's going on with youth exchange. So any questions regarding the programs? If you or your club want to get involved, there is plenty of opportunity, and there's no better way to spend your Rotary time than on youth programs. Janet?
Hi, Bob. Hi, everyone. Quick question. With the amount of money that you need for RILA per student, is most of that covered through people who register the children or the youth? Or will they? All right, I'm just trying to understand. Because will they accept extra money is what I'm trying to say if the club isn't sponsoring or sending youth.
Well, if you have youth that you want to, if you have students that you want to send and you have financial constraints, send me an email and I'll see what we
Oh,
can
it's the
do.
opposite. It's the opposite. If you would accept donations, if you're not sending a student, are you still accepting
Oh.
donations?
If you want to send or finance a student and you don't have one, I'm
Yeah.
sure there will be opportunities for you to do that.
And contact you, Bob?
Yeah, just contact me, and if we get any requests to come in for financial support, I will definitely pass that along.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Sure. Any other questions? All right, Jeannie, back to you.
Thank you, Bob. And if you want to volunteer, if you have questions for a specific program and you're not sure who you're supposed to email to, anything like that, you can always email me and I will pass the information along to the right individual. Okay, and we are moving on to membership. Joe?
Good evening, Jeannie, and good evening, everybody. Just an update on membership. It was very disappointing at the end of, well, it was very exciting at the end of November. We had 33 new members, and it was like, boy, we're doing great. And then when people cleaned out the members that weren't paying or whatever, cleaned the books, the end of December, it was disappointing because we were down 12. So I just looked at it today and we're down 1. So we're coming back, and now we got a few good months to come back strong. I just wanted to highlight a few of the clubs that have at least four new members, and they're not all large clubs. So I just wanted to mention Scotch Plains, Livingston, the Mendhams, Morristown, and Robbinsville, Hamilton all have at least 4 new members. So they're doing a great job, and so it's very exciting. Leads, we do get leads from Rotary International. We received probably about 45 leads throughout the year, and I would say about 10% of those have become members. So if I send you a lead, act on it, and good luck, and maybe we'll get you some more new members. So that's working out well. Had a new membership meeting early in the month where we kind of focused on just resources at Rotary International to let new members learn about all the resources that we have at Rotary International, and primarily the Learning Center. So if any of you haven't been to rotaryinternational.org, check it out. There's so much information on there. And I think we showcased a lot to some of the new members. So hopefully that was helpful. Other things, the zone presents some great meetings that we're all welcome to attend. And one of them I really enjoy that they do it monthly, the first Monday of every month at 7:30, is called Membership Meetups. This month, next month, February 3rd, the topic is, what's in it for me? Capturing the interest of busy people. I think we could all learn something from that. They're very energetic, and I think they do a great job. It's on the Zone 32, Rotary International Zone 32 website. I will send an email out to all presidents and leaders in the district. But if you have time, I think it's well worth it. They also have previous months' membership meetups recorded on YouTube. And I would, if you have some free time, check it out. They're really, I think they're very motivating, and they bring a lot of energy. So check that out. And then the last thing on the Zone website again is a new membership webinar, February 20th. I'll send that out to all the newer members of the district. But that's on February 20th, and that's a new membership orientation. I think they'll benefit from that too. So that's it, Jeannie.
Thank you, Joe. So we can also, I started posting these zone meetings. When we see relevant and really high energy ones, we started posting them on the district website, so we can include the 2 that you just talked about. So all you need to do is go to the home page. It's on the right-hand side. Just scroll down, click, and you'll get all the information of what each one of these learning opportunities are all about. Right? Any questions?
Any questions?
Right, I don't see any.
Okay, keep up the good work.
Yeah, well, thank you, Joe. Right, moving on to foundation. Andy?
Thank you, Jeannie. Good evening, everybody. We're about halfway through the Rotary year, and the annual fund giving is actually probably a little bit ahead of where it normally is. Our annual giving committee, chaired by Kalpana Patel, is really doing a great job. They ran a matching program where if you spend $1, you get some reimbursement points. And I believe they raised about $12,000 doing that. So year to date, we are very close to $100,000 in annual giving, and I believe that puts us in a better position than we've been in a year or two at this time. So I would thank you all for participating, and we look forward to your continued participation. Kalpana, I know you're on. Did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, sure, Andy. Good evening, everyone. So to add more to what Andy was talking about, we feel great about where we are, but our work is not done. In November, starting November 19th to December 10th, any donations that were given to the foundation, the district had started in rewards incentive program, where for the first $100 donated, we would add double points. And we had a good response, I'll say fairly decent. We had a total of 155 of our district members that received points. A total of 9,309 points were given away. And the related contributions total that were made for the annual fund to our foundation was $19,834. So we did well. Overall contributions up year to date to the annual fund at the district level at $136,274. So that's, like Andy said, a little ahead of where we would have expected to be. But again, this is not where we would need to be. As you all know, these annual funds are what decides 3 years from now how much we have available for our district grants. We need to continue. Thank you so much, everyone, who participated and who has been contributing to our foundation. And please spread the word around. We need to continue. Thank you.
Thanks, Kalpana. The annual giving money goes towards your district grants and global grants, and district grants this year we got from our DDF fund $71,000, and which ran us a little bit short of what the grant totals were requested. And Jeannie met with the finance committee, and they are taking funds from the excess funds from the treasury and matching the money that was short. So we have started to reimburse the district grants. I believe there are 4 or 5 this month that will go out, and there'll be 2 checks, one from the DDF funds and the other one from the district treasury, which will make the clubs whole for the amount of money that they had requested. We have 3 or 4 global grants that are in process, either in draft. I think we've got one that's looking for authorization, and I know of 2 or 3 others that are potentially being worked on. So there's activity with global grants as well. Polio is sort of where it always is around this time. I just looked, and according to the report, there's about $23,000 in year to date. I think many Rotarians think that polio is pretty much done. Well, it's not. In order to totally eradicate it, we need to keep going for a few more years, and it's expensive to get these last vaccinations done. So we're looking for as much money as possible. So if you have a few extra bucks, we would look forward to your maybe putting some of that towards polio. We've had a couple of really successful years with Global Scholars. Last year we sponsored 3, the year before we sponsored 2. We have started the program. We're starting to get applications in. And we are hoping to do more than 1, perhaps 3. If we have the the kind of scholars or applicants that we had last year. I've been doing these scholarships for quite a while, either with Global Scholars or back in the day when it was Ambassadorial Scholars. And I've always been incredibly impressed with the quality of the applicants. And it's very hard to interview them and tell them no. So we keep stretching our funding in order to provide these people with, or these young people with funding for their scholarships. We have posted a lot of their reports and so forth, information about them on the website. They are either focused on the homepage, or if you go to the foundation tab, you can find information about them. I'd urge you to go look and see what they do. They're all incredibly interesting young people and so bright. It's just, I mean, I was still playing with trucks when I was their age, and here they are fixing things all around the world. So I would encourage you to look at that. We are, for the first time, at least with respect to the foundation, going to have a food truck festival to raise money for the foundation. That's being chaired by Joe Nastis. Jeannie, I apologize. I've looked all over my notes and I can't find the date. Do you remember the date?
The date is the day before Mother's Day in May.
Okay, yeah, I
It's
thought
on
it
the
was on my
website.
calendar. It's not there. So it's gonna be in New Brunswick at one of the parks. It's well into organization. And we're gonna really encourage everybody to go because one, it'll be great to raise a few bucks, but I think it'll be a really nice social event to get out and meet other Rotarians and talk to them and get an idea of what's really going on in the district. At the same time, you can have some good food and there's gonna be a beer truck. So I would encourage you to go.
Saturday, May 10th, Andy.
Saturday, May 10th. Thank you. And that's about it. Are there any questions? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Kalpana. I think we all realize the theme for all these events is let's have a lot of fun, right? With the conference and with the food truck event. Fun and doing good work at the same time, right? So for public image, I just want to thank a couple of people who did Barry for doing a workshop on building a Club Runner website and a very timely tutorial on entering officers for next year. If any of your clubs are still not having your officers for next year into Club Runner, please do so as soon as possible. And I also want to recognize Brian from Courtwell's Club on his excellent tutorial on social media. If you missed these sessions, the recordings are on our website. And there is a zone workshop next Tuesday on telling your Rotary story. And the information, it's there also under events on the right-hand side of the homepage. And I hope all your clubs will take advantage of this. Questions? No. Okay. Kalpana. Learning and President-elect learning seminar, health.
Very good. Thank you, Jeannie. So you've likely seen emails from both Bob and from Jeannie. Bob sent it earlier on the 14th and Jeannie yesterday, outlining the exciting PELS training program that's coming up for president-elects for the year 25-26. Leading up to the training, we have a few sessions also scheduled to get everyone together as president-elect to talk about what PELS is all about. And the first of those is on January 30th in person in Madison at 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. The details are all on our website in that section that Jeannie was just talking about, upcoming events. Please register if you're a president-elect on this call. And if you're not, please pass the word around to your president-elect to remind them to register. We do by registration because along with this information session, there will be dinner served and we do need a head count for that. It will be a very exciting, informative session. Again, your first ever opportunity to meet with your district governor, incoming district governor Bob Law, and all your fellow presidents-elect here and exchange information. Following that, just about a week after, on February 3rd, Monday, we'll have another session, information session online on Zoom for any presidents-elect that who could not make the in-person event, or if we have inclement weather, that's our date. And that will be at 7 p.m. Again, registration for that is open and available on that upcoming event section on our website. Please register there. If you went to January 30th, you can still go to, and you're actually encouraged to join on February 3rd for that follow-up information session. A lot of questions and answers and things that came up from that meeting that you'd like to ask. That's your opportunity to do that. There will be another pre-PELS series of sessions to be held virtually. A schedule for that is being finalized and will be shared in a week or so by email. And of course, as always, we will have them available on our district website for you to register. But again, all the things that are needed prior to that are included in Bob's email. And all information relating to the learning that for presidents-elect is posted on a district webpage called Information on the Resources on the webpage. And also, if you scroll down to the middle of the homepage, you will see a section on PELS that you could just click on that takes you to the President-elect Resources page for 2025. Everything that a president-elect needs to know by way of preparation for PELS, all of these pre-PELS sessions that we talked about, as well as registering for PELS itself, is all available on that page. We also encourage and remind everyone to please register for PELS. All presidents-elect in the district are required to attend, so do not forget to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalpana.
Any
Anyone?
questions?
Any questions?
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I see President Kelly from Elizabeth here. I just want to comment that I hope all of you have seen her New Year's resolution for this year, and it was included in the district newsletter. I hope everybody copy her resolution and doing all those things, all those wonderful things that that we all wanted to accomplish this year. So thank you, Kelly. If I don't see any, oh, Janet, you have a question before we move on?
Yes, hi, it's not a question. But I agree with, if you look at, President Kelly's Facebook page for Elizabeth, she's doing an amazing job, inspirational, many good things. She's full of ideas. But the one reason I wanted to speak again is we lost a great Rotarian. I got word this morning, Frank Lawrence, a decade-long Rotarian from the Union Rotary, passed away. The viewing is Friday, I believe. I got word from Sharon at the Union Club. So condolences to the Lawrence family. And Frank was a very decade-long, probably close to 40 years, Rotarian, and very active with everything, and a great man. So I just wanted to let everyone know that.
Well, Janet, thank you for sharing the news. Certainly, I will reach out to the president of.
President Donna
Yeah,
Stein. Yes. Mhm.
yeah, thank you.
You're
for letting
welcome.
us know. So if there are no further comments, Bob will talk to us about the latest update on the NJ Rotary Initiative. Bob?
All right. So we've had a few changes in the NJ Rotary schedule here. In our work over the past few months, we've been meeting on a regular basis. The steering committee, which includes Jeannie, Joe, myself, Kalpana, and Jeff Dietzel, president of the New Brunswick Club. And things are coming along like so many things that are this complicated. You have your ups and your downs and your ins and outs, and that's what we're working through right now. But for those of you who are not familiar with what we're talking about with NJ Rotary, I just want to briefly go through the reason for it, and that is the membership trends that Rotary is experiencing, primarily in long-term Rotary countries, including the US and Canada, Great Britain and Ireland, Australia, Japan. You can see up there, and these are 20-year trends that you're looking at. So there is a lot of growth in Asia, a lot of areas that are stagnant, and some significant areas for Rotary, including the United States, that are in decline. And when we look at New Jersey specifically, and this is broken down by the 3 districts in New Jersey, D7475, which is ourselves, 7505 to our south, and 7490 to the north, northeast of us. Our membership in New Jersey over 20 years is down about 40%. And that membership decline is consistent across all 3 of the districts. And for those of you who have been around through all of the different mergers and all, this is accounting for all of that in terms of the total membership. So the trajectory of membership in Rotary in the United States and in New Jersey is definitely not positive. You heard Joe's report. We're struggling to stay even. We are doing better than a lot of districts, as is the other 2 districts in New Jersey, but we're still far from growing. So Rotary is looking at all of this stuff going on, and there's definitely been a determination that Rotary needs to change. And I can tell you that this is coming very much from the top down. It is really the point of focus of our incoming president of Rotary International, who spoke at our PETS meeting last year, Mario. And we're going to be hearing from the 2026 president at this year's PELS, and his message is going to be very similar. But changes in North America to address membership attrition are necessary and inevitable. They are going to be making changes. It's a question of what those changes are, how they get implemented. Like all successful organizations, Rotary must evolve to meet the needs of our members and prospective members. And we're a service organization. We can't continue to serve if we don't have an active and sustainable team of people. Our district right now is in a unique position of being able to take an active role in this by defining and implementing what a new Rotary might look like. And that leads us to NJ Rotary. And as a refresher, this is the coming together of the 3 districts in New Jersey to form a single entity called New Jersey Rotary. It'll include all the Rotaract and Rotary clubs in the state. It'll be structured on a team-based approach to enhance performance and productivity and take advantage of the knowledge and skills of the many Rotarians in New Jersey. The team approach is an important change. Starting from a clean slate, we're going to be able to put together an organization that will serve New Jersey Rotarians into the future. And the team approach is something that I'll talk a little bit more about in a few minutes, but it's something that we really need to be looking at the district level, the club level and all, if we're going to, continue to thrive as an organization. I'm very much involved in pets, and, we still have many, many clubs in the district. Something like 60 or 70% of the district still has not input their club presidents for next year, starting in July. And we got many clubs that are still struggling to find people that want to fill the position. So if formed, New Jersey Rotary would be the largest regional group of Rotary clubs in North America, with somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 clubs and 5,000 members when the three districts do come together. So this proposed change requires a vote of our clubs, and that's subject to Article 10 of our District Manual of Procedures. Requires a 30-day advance notice to the clubs, and the vote will be to approve or reject a proposed amendment to the Manual of Procedures. So we are prepared now to send that notice out tomorrow, January 21st, and we've scheduled Monday, February 24th to vote. The voting is going to follow the protocol defined in the Rotary International bylaws, which adjusts the number of votes per club. And I can talk more about that in a few minutes if anybody has any questions. There will be 2 virtual Q&A meetings and 1 live meeting, and I'll give you the schedule shortly between now and the vote. And individual club presentations are possible as schedule allows. If you want me or one of the other members to come out and speak to you, we will do everything we possibly can to accommodate your club. And all this information will be in the email and notification, or the notification email that's going to be sent tomorrow. Here's the schedule that we're looking at. Tomorrow, the notification goes out. Next Monday, January 27th at 7 p.m., we'll have our first virtual Q&A session. Monday the 4th, we're going to do it at 8 a.m. for those that maybe can't make an evening meeting. And then on Tuesday, February 18th at 6 p.m., we're going to have a live session at a central restaurant location to be confirmed. It'll probably be down in the Branchburg location near Route 78 and Route 202 down there. And then on Monday, February 24th, club voting by the club president or approved alternate on behalf of the club via email. And then Tuesday on the 25th, a virtual recap of the election results and next steps at a Zoom meeting. So, I'm going to be prepared to answer any questions, but, we've shown this before. If we want things to change the way they are, things will have to change. Or if we want things to stay the way they are, things have to change. And that's the position we're in now. And we're looking for some solutions that work here for our district and for Rotary. Couple of the changes that have taken place, we've moved the date of the combining of the districts based on the votes to July 1st of 2027. So it's a year later than what had been originally proposed. The district to our south has voted, and they have voted in favor overwhelmingly of moving to New Jersey Rotary. District 7490, because of their position, which is that they've fallen below the minimum membership requirement for a Rotary district doesn't have a vote, they're going to have to join one way or another. The other thing that has been discussed and in probability will occur is that on July 1st of 2026, District 7490 will join us and become part of our district. And that would be the first step towards the New Jersey Rotary formation. Now, and this will be explained in the email tomorrow. That is covered by Rotary bylaws. If a district falls below their membership minimum requirements, which is 1,100 members, Rotary has the right to move those clubs to another district, and that district has to accept them. So that is the position we're probably going to find ourselves in July of 2026. District 7490 does not have a district governor nominee, so somebody to run their district after June 30th of 2026. We do, and Joe Nastas would be the district governor, or whatever that position is titled, which will probably not be district governor by that time of the district. So that's where things stand. It'll all be outlined in the email in detail. But if anybody has any questions tonight, you can ask them, we can discuss, and then I'm certainly available by phone or email after you've gotten the documents and you review it. What you're going to find in there is an overview of what I just discussed. You're going to have all of the detailed language from the Rotary documents and RMOP that cover this. So you'll have that as a reference, and you won't have to look through 600 pages of the Rotary Code of Policies. And you'll also have the proposed amendment that is really what we're voting on as to whether or not we move forward with this. So I think change is inevitable. I think we're in a fortunate position here where we can be part of managing that change and controlling how it happens. And that's where we stand. So, questions?
Yeah, Bob, I have a question. This is Ellie Benz from Branchville Rotary. I'd like to know if the proposed amendment is going to be reviewed by the Rules and Procedures Committee before it goes out to all the clubs.
You already reviewed it, Ellie. You reviewed it a couple months ago.
Yeah, but I never heard back from everybody whether it was approved the way it was drafted or not.
Okay, it was approved. I'll resend you to make sure you have the information. So there's 3 people on that committee, you, Joe Nastas, and myself. So,
I heard from you, but never from Joe.
okay.
We'll get it to you as soon as this
I'll
meeting.
send it to you right
Yeah.
when we're done here. So you'll
Thank
see
you.
it.
Bob, I have
Thank
a
you.
question for you.
Yeah.
The material that you'll be sending out tomorrow, will that be going just to the presidents of the clubs, or will that go to every Rotarian?
That will go to the entire district.
To
Everybody.
everybody. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's nothing to hide. And like I said, all of the language, all of the documents that support this are all there. And any questions that anybody has, we'll answer them, whether it's, through email or at the Q&A sessions that we do. We'll make sure you have all the information you need.
It's interesting to note that one of my club that I visited as assistant governor, the same question was asked, are we merging with another club? And I said, my answer was, as far as I know, I'm unaware of it. But tomorrow when it goes to every Rotary of the district, I think that would answer their concern.
What was the concern that I didn't catch?
Concern? No, they was not concerned. It's just a question. Is our district is merging with another district in New Jersey? And I said, I'm unaware of it.
Well, it's one of the things that's important about this. In the past, when districts came together, it was a merging, because one district joined and they basically conformed to, whatever the other district was doing. And there was a sharing maybe of leadership if there was a district governor chain and that sort of thing. But it was, two districts coming together. In this case, the three districts truly are working on creating a formation, a structure that is not the same as what a Rotary district is today.
I guess my concern was not their concern. My concern was I've been through prior merger of two clubs. I mean, two districts. I was part of 7510 and it merged with 7475 and we became another club that we became 7475. So when this question was asked, I was not aware, but in the past I was aware that this thing was going to happen. But I guess everyone will become aware as you send out the email tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, it's important to note that we have a vote. So, it can be voted for, it can be against. And, the results of that vote will determine the direction that we're going. This, and there's rules in the Rotary Code of Policy that address this. And basically what it says is if a district is healthy, which we are, Rotary cannot change its boundaries. The only time they can change the boundaries is if, like the situation with 7490, they can force us to accept clubs in a district that has become too small. But that's not what the case is here in terms of New Jersey Rotary. So we do get a vote on this, and that's what we will be voting on. One important difference right from the start that you're going to see, there are no officers, there's no, let's call them district governors because that's the words we use today. There's no district governors in place for this new district. The three districts, if we approve this, we will all get to vote on who those governors are going to be and who is the chain of leadership in the new district. And again, the district is being formed very much on a team approach rather than the single individual centric approach that Rotary has had for quite some time with the district governor. There will be a leader in place, but the goal is to build around that person a strong team so that we don't have the changes from year to year when you have district governor changes that we experience today.
Okay. Fair.
Andy?
Andy. You're muted, Andy.
Thank you. I think you already answered my question. I was thinking about what's the alternative if we were to turn it down, and I guess we would stay a district.
We would stay a district until such time, and this, nobody knows what would happen. There's no plan right now, and certainly nothing that's been shared with us. But I can tell you that Rotary right now is looking at merging zones and merging districts throughout the areas that are experiencing membership decline. So something is going to happen. And what that is, when it happens, I don't know. I don't know that anybody really knows. If they do, they're not talking. That to me is one of the important things about this is if we approach it proactively, at least we have some say in the outcome.
Yeah, I'm not forming an opinion. I'm just trying to understand. That's all. Because if that ultimately, I'm sure they would change it and we'd probably not become a district, but that would require bylaws changes by Rotary, correct?
Or it would require, like they did with us with the undistricting. It would require a board decision. So I don't know. I know it's almost certain that Rotary in North America is losing a zone because the membership discrepancies were, and I talked about this at a meeting a while ago. You know, I mean, if you go back 100 years, the US was 100% of Rotarians. 5 or 6 years ago, we were about 35% of the Rotary population globally. We're now somewhere around 25%, 25 or 26% of global Rotary. So the resources that Rotary has to move to where the membership growth is. And right now that's primarily in Asia. So the zone structure is going to be changed so that there's more zones in Asia and less zones in North America. And when that happens, they also have to do things with the districts and all to reorganize everything. And that's what we're going through. And because of what's gone on in New Jersey, we're in, I think, the position to be at the lead of that rather than the result of decisions that are made elsewhere. But, nobody knows. You guys have been around, a lot of you have been around Rotary a lot longer than I have. So, but I can tell you at the top, there is, and this, I've been fortunate that I was able to spend time with Mario and all when he was here at our Pels event and another meeting that we had. He is very intent on this, and the whole district governor chain coming up is very intent on it. So I know that things are going to happen. They're going to be making changes.
So it's interesting. I just learned that zone, I know there are 2 zones in North America, 24 and 32. So I suppose what I hear today that those 2 zones would merge.
Well, actually, there's more than 2 zones in North America. And zone 24 and 32, we're in zone 32. We're already governed by the same people. So, and when we go to our training meetings and all, we're meeting with the Canadian zone. And I can tell you one of the things that was eye-opening for me when I started going to those meetings, and you see that the challenges that we face are not just here in New Jersey. They're not just here in our zone. They're not just here in the United States. It's the same thing in Canada. And then when we talk to our friends in Japan as part of the exchange program, and the leaders stayed with me the past 2 summers, they're going through exactly the same thing in Japan. Exactly. So this is not a problem with us. It's not a problem with, our district, our zone. It's a problem, throughout our country and Canada and Japan and Ireland and Australia and all that need to be fixed. And they got to figure out a way to do that.
Rich has his hand up for a
Yes, I
while.
do. Thank you. So I want to thank Andy for asking the first question I was going to ask. But I want to clarify the leadership that's going to transpire once this happens, because it kind of sounds like 7490 and 7475 it's a foregone conclusion. All we need to do is really decide whether we're going to merge with the other district to the south, which I don't know the number of that district, but how is that leadership structure going to work? Is it going to be different than this district governor leadership, or is it going to be, I'm not really sure I understand what's going on there.
It is moving much more towards a team approach rather than having a central, district governor who, when the terms change on a year-to-year basis, sometimes you go left, sometimes you go right. If you're fortunate, you keep going the same direction for a period of time, but there's a complete lack of continuity. And Rotary has this up and down the chain. They do the same thing with the president of Rotary International. And, you know, in discussions, everybody recognizes how stupid this is. I mean, there's no company in the world that would change their leadership on an annual basis.
Oh,
But-
I always wondered about that myself, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Like 1 year and you're out. It doesn't. To me,
Well,
it doesn't make
and
sense.
that's where, look, a lot of this goes back, and I understand that there was a time where, you know, when you were in business and all that, it was an honor. And it was great because there were a lot of people around and you know, you got this position and, you know, it was more, you went, you had dinner and you talked to people and that was it. I can tell you, it's become a whole lot different, you know, just because of all the stuff that we have to, you know, nobody ever thought about youth protection. We got to think about youth protection. Nobody ever thought about insurance and liability. We got to think about that, all those things. And it's just, it's time consuming. So and if you're changing your thought pattern and all every year, it becomes very difficult to keep up with that. So this is really a move to try and, you know, I'm not sure you're ever going to eliminate it, but at least reduce it and make it more palatable, easier to manage is really what the thought here is.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for clarifying.
I will tell you, you know, look, I mean, we have been very fortunate. I have been very fortunate working with Jeannie and with Joe. We get along. You know, we're not going to go left and right next year. We're going to be continuing. I am, you know, a little better off than she was because I'm coming out of a year where we've been functioning as a normal district, not under the, you know, the leadership of Rotary and all the challenges we had. So we'll have a little more freedom as we move to next year. We're going to start the process. My title that I'm going to be operating under is not going to be district governor. I'm going to be the district leadership chair. And my goal is to bring together, you know, the best that we have in the district that are willing to get involved. And, you know, I'm more of a mentor and a, you know, an educator than I am a governor. I don't, you know, I don't see the role being governing clubs. That's not what our job is. Our job is to support the clubs, guide the clubs, and assist the clubs. The only place where, you know, we really have to be careful and there has to be some governance is when you get into areas like youth protection, you know, anything that could get us in trouble with discrimination situations, that type of thing, and certainly finance. I mean, we've got to maintain management over finance, but that doesn't have to be done by one person. And that's really the direction that we're going to be moving. So you're going to start to sense what this feels like. Hopefully by 2026, we'll be steps ahead because by that time, the teams that are going to be working on New Jersey Rotary, if we approve that, will be deep into the process. And one of the benefits that we have from this, you know, good or bad, is we're going to have the support and the involvement of Rotary International. They're not going to just throw this out there and say, okay, guys and girls, go, you know, go make something of this. They have a vested interest in making this successful. So,
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the clarification, Bob. Thank you.
any other questions? Back to you, Jeannie.
Well, one thing I do want to clarify is as far as the voting is concerned, it's not going to be a secret ballot by email. It's we want to do everything as open, as transparent as possible. If you remember, in November, all the clubs had to vote on our last year's financials. Some of the club presidents, you might remember that. Right? So we're going to do exactly the same as how we cast our club votes. There will be a link provided closer to the date that we're going to vote. and then you can click on the link, and then that will take you to a place where you actually can cast a vote. So the votes are open this way, and we're going to repeat what we have done in the past to cast our club votes. And this time we're going to do that, and this time it's just doing the votes online, and we're not going to, since this is a very important vote, instead of doing a roll call in a Zoom meeting, we will do that. So each president will be able to go on to the system and then cast your vote. And everything will be detailed in the email that we're going to be sending to you, not just the email coming up, but also in the future, to make sure, in case you miss an email or two, you'll still be in the loop for this. Any other questions?
Let me just say one more thing about the voting, just so there's no surprise tomorrow. I mentioned it, but we are going to be conducting the vote under the rules of Rotary International. And the difference is, in the past, when our clubs have voted, it's been one vote per club. That is not in alignment with Rotary's rules, which make an adjustment based on the size of membership. And you're going to have the exact language, but basically a club up to 37 members gets one vote. A club between 38 and 62 members gets 2 votes. And a club with 63 to 87 members gets 3 votes. We have in our district 3 clubs that qualify for 3 votes. We have 6, I think, or 7 clubs. Let me just look. 3 clubs are entitled to 3 votes. 8 clubs have 2 votes. And then the rest of the clubs, and there's 74 clubs, get 1 vote each. And just so you know, that is very close to the percentage of membership. So the 3 clubs that get the 3 votes have 11.9% of members, and they get 10% of the vote. The next club group has 2 votes each. That's 20% of members, and they have 18% of the votes. And then the rest of the clubs have 68% of the votes and 71% of the members. So all of that will be outlined, and because this is involving more than just us, we really have to follow their protocol, and that will be included in our MOP for next year. It was just one of those things that was missed, but that's one important change, but it follows precisely the Rotary rules. Anything else?
Okay. Going once and again. Anyone else? Question?
Only 10 minutes over, not bad.
And after you receive the email, review it, discuss at the club, attend one of the info sessions, and you are welcome to contact Bob or any one of us on the steering committee to answer your questions, and we will move forward with this, and hopefully we will get to the point that everyone will get your questions answered before you discuss and go back to your club and discuss how your club will vote. That's what we're hoping for. Everyone understand the process, and everyone understand what this initiative is all about. And once again, you do have a choice. This is not something that we were told to do. That is very important. I don't think anyone likes to hear that we're being told to do something. So again, contact us if you have any questions. If there isn't anything else, we will say good night
Thank you,
Your
Jeannie.
president signed up for Pels. You need to get moving there.
Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Thank-
everyone.
Yep.
Good
Thank you for being here. Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Great job.
Good night.